just going to go over a few things about the exam. Again, you will have until next week, Monday, midnight, to finish this thing. I encourage you to work together and talk about it and go over it with a fine tooth comb because there's a lot in there, and I want to make sure you don't miss anything. Always better to have multiple sets of eyes if you can. Um, there are three main sections to this exam. With this, you are going to assume that you are giving these assessments to 12 fourth grade students whose reading scores are generally well below grade level and whose science scores are generally just below grade level. So they're very poor readers, they're doing okay in science. That's all we know about them. Could be a lot of different things going on. I'm going to give you three different goals. The first goal is just recalling definitions. I have option one. I'd like you to tell me what is wrong with each individual item according to the rules and the ideas of content validity. So if anything's wrong with secondary succession and its match, write it here. Pioneer plants and its match, write it here, and so on. Then I'll want you to critique the items as a whole. And for some of these, and I will say, for matching in general, a lot of times more of the issues are with the set of items as a whole. I want you to talk about those things. Then go on to the next option. Same goal, different option for assessment. Again, go through the rules, go through issues of content validity, comparing each item with the goals, making sure that if it's in here, it's in here. And if it's a level 1 goal here, it's a level 1 item down here. Again, issues with each items. If there's something wrong with number 1, tell me about it. If there's something wrong with number 2, tell me about it. There could be more than one thing wrong, so make sure you write down everything. And then look at the issue with items as a whole again. Option 3, same kind of thing going on. This is true and false. Tell me if there's anything wrong with individual items. Issues with items as a whole. Again, directions go down in here. Tell me if there's something wrong with the directions. That's part of the set of items as a whole. After you're done then, I have three different options for this first goal. I'd like you to go through and tell me, well, for matching, what's good about matching? Why is it good? What's wrong with matching? Why is it bad? For this particular content, and so on. Option 2, same kind of thing. Option 3, true and false, same kind of thing. Then I'd like you to tell me which one of these options, matching, multiple choice, or true and false, is the best option for this content, this goal, and these students. Again, going back to the student description earlier on in the beginning, where it's just a small group of fourth graders who are poor readers and struggling with their science content as well. Give me your reasons right here, and that'll be it. I want you to do the same thing then with the second goal, where they're given this diagram and they're supposed to answer questions to meet this goal. I have the answers highlighted here. You still will need to go through and look to make sure that things are at the right level of cognition and all that other stuff. And tell me if there's anything wrong with the items as they're listed, and then with the items as a whole. For option 2, this is a short answer type thing. Same kind of thing. Tell me what's wrong with the individual items in terms of content validity, where there's the overlap of what's being asked and what the goal is actually looking for in terms of level of cognition, and then general item construction rules. Also tell me what's wrong with the set of items as a whole. Then just between those two, multiple choice or short answer, tell me what's good and bad about the multiple choice, good and bad about the short answer, and then tell me which one you would pick and why. The last one, students are going to be given some kind of materials that talk about this mine that might be going up north, and they're supposed to read through this. You may talk through it a little bit with them because they are struggling readers. But then they are supposed to, based on this goal, complete either option 1, which is a series of essay questions. I have a description of what the teacher does and the rubric that the teacher is using. I'd like you to focus on 3 areas: problems with the directions, and so the things that they're telling the students to do; problems with the performance tasks themselves, so the prompts in this case; what's wrong with these questions, if anything, and then problems with the rubric and the scoring procedure. So it's not just the rubric here, but also the description about how this person is grading. The last option then is a performance assessment for that same goal. And here are the directions that she would be given them. More directions, and then here's a little commentary about what the teacher is actually doing. Again, I want you to focus on what are the problems with the directions, problems with the things that the students are actually going to be doing, and problems with her scoring procedure. There is no rubric given here, but it describes how she's going to grade. Again, finally, go through, tell me what are the pros and cons of essays, pros and cons of performance assessments, assuming that you fixed everything. Again, this isn't the pros and cons of just how these things are in here. This is assuming that I fixed everything that's wrong with it. What's good about essays? What's bad about essays? What's good about performance assessments? What's bad about performance assessments? And then which one would I use with these kids and why? And that's it. If you have questions, come and see me. If you want to get together as a larger group, if a lot of you have like similar schedules and stuff, feel free to do that. That is up to you. So basically, there's not much you can do to cheat on this thing. And that's kind of how I like to do the take-home exams. Then I don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to wonder whether something's illegal or not. If you do have questions, let me know via email. And I'll probably, if I think it's an issue that might come up with other people, I will just take your name off of it and forward that question out to the whole class. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.